Hello, I am Fernanda Paiva, Hitchhiking Stars, and today we're gonna be talking about the new moon at 20 degrees Scorpio. So there is a new moon coming on the 13th of November 2023, and it will be happening at 20 degrees of Scorpio. So what does the chart of this new moon can tell us? What does this degree can tell us as well? And if there are any major aspects for this new moon as well, because all of this can color what this new beginning represents or how this new beginning can unfold. And also it can tell us a little bit of how to use this energy. So how can we channel this energy in creative ways? So what is the sky showing us in terms of this lunar cycle that we can use purposefully? All right. So the first thing I want to say is that we have a triple conjunction. So three planets will be together in this new moon. So we have the sun and the moon at 20 degrees, 40 minutes of arc, more or less, in Scorpio. But we also have Mars. So Mars, which happens to rule this moon, this new moon, so the moon and the sun in Scorpio. So traditional ruler of Scorpio is Mars. And Mars is a 22 Scorpio as well. So the triad of planets here is emphasizing a new beginning that has a scorpionic characteristic. So all the traditional things that we think when we think about Scorpio, so going deeper, working, doing shadow work, healing as well. So we can think about all the positives of Scorpio, which is what we want to work with, is the kind of intentions that we want to set. Now, Scorpio can be fierce as well. So we could also throw a little bit of that energy in the mix, and a fierce need to regenerate. So finding out where this new moon is in your chart will help you ground the symbolism and what this new moon in Scorpio might mean personally for you. Because if you're having this new moon in the first house, you'll be healing something that has to do with your sense of identity. Whereas if it's in the 10th house, it could be healing and a new beginning in your career, in your vocation, in your direction, in the outer world. So it's really important to anchor the new moon in your chart. So, but let's keep thinking about this. Let's keep thinking about this symbolism as well here. So 20 degrees of Scorpio is also important when we think about the Sabian symbols, which is something that I always share here with you because I love imagery. And I think that if we can think in images, we can grasp different levels of meaning in symbolism and symbolic work. So 20 degrees of Scorpio is, are you ready? So the image for 20 degrees of Scorpio is obeying their conscience, soldiers resist order. So a soldier resists orders. So we're talking about not following orders here. We're talking about inner truth. We're talking about conscience as well, with that sense of inner truth. So there's a sense of integrity as well, and a sense of rebelliousness potentially. So this new cycle has something of a rebellious feeling with 20 degrees of Scorpio. Now, not only we've got the sense of rebelliousness with the 20 degrees of Scorpio, but that new moon is also in opposition to Uranus. So the main aspect that this new moon is forming is an opposition to Uranus at 21 Taurus. So this new moon, this new lunar cycle has already a very strong Uranian signature. And Uranus has a lot to do with rebelliousness, finding your own way of doing things, not wanting to be told what to do, but also awakening. And the sense of waking up to your own purpose, waking up to your individual path, to a new way of doing things. And I think if we put those two together, so the opposition to Uranus as well as the 20 degrees Sabian symbol, we can think about this sense of tapping into your integrity. It will be a great way of expressing and using this new moon to set intentions in your life. So not really following the beaten track, finding your own path, making it very unique, when it comes to the scorpionic things. So anything to do with going deeper, regeneration, healing, psychological work, intense emotions, intense intimacy as well. That's another Scorpio it's another Scorpio theme here as well. So we can set intentions for doing our own way, not really following orders, not really obeying what other people expect from us, but what our inner truth is telling us. So use that to set these intentions. Now, another thing that I want to say about this new moon is the conjunction to Mars. So Mars is also very close. Mars is at 22 Scorpio, and the new moon will happen at 20. So Mars is also very strongly opposing Uranus. So again, we have that strong energy there of unpredictability, of instability, of that sense of awakening as well. But something unpredictable that this energy really reflects as well. So for me, that rebelliousness, the flavor of rebelliousness, will be even stronger with Mars being involved in the picture. So it's really important to set intentions that will respect your sense of autonomy and your sense of individuality as well, which I think is one of the main functions of Mars, really, is to individuate, is to separate. And when we have it very strongly in Scorpio, but in opposition to Uranus as well, then that energy is even more enhanced. So let's include Mars in our intentions for this new moon. Ways of using that sharpness of Mars and Scorpio, that ability to cut really sharp and really precisely, and really dive into the depths of what's really important. And keeping in mind our values, what's important to us, our inner truth, like I mentioned before. I couldn't resist, and I had to have a look at what 22 degrees Scorpio is on Sabian symbols as well, because it's too close to the new moon and it has definitely a strong, powerful presence here. And so 22 degrees Scorpio, the imagery for it is a rabbit metamorphosed into a fairy. So we have a sense of a wild animal transforming into a magical being here as well. So there's a sense of evolution and a sense of a higher spiritual perception as well. Now, again, that's very interesting, especially when the sun and the moon at 20 degrees are reflective of the inner truth and the sense of integrity and being conscious and not following what is expected from you pure simply. But that Mars is also telling us that the drive behind it, because Mars reflects drive, is also higher spirituality, is higher truth, higher spiritual perceptions, or a sense of ascension or evolution. So all of this can be included in your intentions. So doing the work, cutting sharply, but for something higher. Remember, all the signs will have the best, the worst, and all the colors in between. So you don't want to really be setting intentions for the new moon using the worst of Scorpio. So attachment, jealousy, possessiveness, and all of that. So you want to think about higher dimensions and using your energy, using your drive, using the fight in you for something bigger than you, for something that includes other people as well, potentially. So if you're a healer, that's a great new moon for your work. If you're tapping into your psychic abilities or doing your witchcraft as well, I think that's a very, very powerful new moon for setting intentions that have to do with medicine, with regeneration. Like I said before, I think there is a lot of power there. There's a lot of energy. And that's especially, again, because Mars is also in trine to Neptune. So we have Mars at the degree of Scorpio that talks about ascension and evolution and spiritual perceptions, and at the same time is in trine to Neptune. So again, we have this sort of spiritual energy that's connected with this new moon again. So not following orders, not following what's expected from you, but doing it in a respectful manner, and is still following a spiritual guidance and the sense of inner truth and integrity as well. So I think that's very important during this new moon. At the same time, there's another aspect here. Venus will be very powerful, will be ruling that Uranus in Taurus and Jupiter in Taurus as well, and is in Libra. So we got Venus at 5 degrees Libra, and we have Mercury coming to sextile that Venus. So that's another aspect that'll be happening during this new moon. It is reflective of our ability to tap into our values and to become a little bit more conscious of it. Use our minds, Mercury, to realize what our values, what's important to you or us. That Venus in Libra as well. So that aspect is also happening. Is an applying aspect. So it's about to happen. So I think that will be featuring quite strongly in this new moon as well. So there's something about tapping into our values which will be part of this picture if we set those intentions as well, of fairness, of equality, of seeing the bigger picture as well as we begin this cycle. All right. Well, I think that was all I had to say about this new moon. So think higher, stick to your values, and I'm wishing you all a wonderful, empowering new moon in Scorpio. I will speak to you all soon. Bye bye now.